Hello, it's Camille again, here to walk you through my lesson plan on climate change and its health effects for adolescents. I have designed a lesson plan for high school students somewhere like Chico High, where they have a block schedule, and we will have some real time to play with the lesson that I've planned out. It is a lesson designed for high school students in Math 2, with some prior knowledge of quadratic, linear, and exponential equations and the difference between them. They will obviously have experience reading graphs, and then they'll have experience inputting data on a calculator. We will be using data on Google Sheets that I've preloaded, so they can work with real data and lots of it. We will be discussing weather versus climate, as well as things like domain and range and the goodness of fit of a line. I have included over here what the final product of the lesson will be for the students, because I know it'd be kind of hard to talk about math without some visuals. I have math standards that I'm going to be trying to meet regarding graphing functions and graphing functions to real problems. In this case, global average temperature over time. The health standards that I'm going to try and meet are to identify global environmental issues and evaluate current research about the health consequences of poor environmental conditions. The students are going to be getting data that I preload for them from NASA and the Jet Propulsion Laboratory of global average temperature from 1880 to 2016. And they will create a line of best fit for it, and then extrapolate the data to show try and determine when we will reach 2 degrees Celsius and 4 degrees Celsius global warming, which are major thresholds for things like health outcomes. I have accounted for having ELD students and IEP students, as well as students with behavioral problems and students who are honors who might want to go further with this data. I'm going to have informal assessments once I break the students out into groups with questions like, what are the data showing over time? Does global average temperature look like it's increasing or decreasing or staying the same? And then how fast or slow is it increasing or decreasing? Exponentially, logarithmically, linearly. My exit ticket will have questions about how you can manipulate the data. Maybe you could play with the time ranges on the x-axis to show an agenda that you want to have. Or maybe you could really expand the y-axis ranges to make the line almost look flat. Why would someone do that? What would their agenda be? This will also hopefully get them thinking about seeing graphs that they encounter in real life and evaluating whether they've been presented honestly and accurately, having some critical thinking around those kinds of things. Like I said, they are going to need their Chromebooks, and I will have preloaded data on them for the students to use. We're going to have some time at the start of class to discuss the difference between weather and climate. I will also walk them through a basic example of inputting data and generating a chart in Google Sheets, and then I will break them out into groups of mixed abilities with the NASA data and get them to try and make a line of best fit. Asking them guiding questions over the time, like I explained before. Finally, I will have a closure with them to discuss what they found, and then discuss what this means for their health in the future and how many years in the future. I mentioned that I'm going to be having them point out 2 degrees and 4 degrees. Just wanted to show that the EPA has concrete things that they think will happen at 2 degrees and 4 degrees in terms of health. I included them in my first show, but we will be able to see exactly the health consequences at 2 and 4 degrees Celsius of global warming. Moving on to my social media post. It's kind of cynical, but I don't think there's much at this point that individual students or even classes can do to slow global warming, so I've gone concrete with some advice on what to do when you do experience worsening heat waves. I got some information on how to stay safe in the heat from the Red Cross, who I've tagged in this post, as well as some resources like the County of Butte, who opens up cooling centers during heat waves, and then PG&E, who has assistance programs for families who might need help paying their energy bills so that they can keep the AC on during heat waves. Hopefully this all made sense. Thanks for listening.